Hello, everybody. My name is Alan Butler, and I'm one of the directors of Pride in Plymouth, which, for those of you that don't know, is the city's lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender plus social enterprise. So we're here to work with the LGBT plus community, and ensure that their voice is heard, shall we say, throughout the city. Last year, I was very kindly invited to speak at the International Men's Day, which I'll be really honest, initially I kind of thought, oh, International Men's Day. Right. Well, is every day International Men's Day? Is that a narrative that doesn't need much explaining? But when I stopped and thought about it a little more, two things really occurred to me. As I say, I work with Pride in Plymouth. A lot of the work we do is based around this archive that you see behind me. So creating an archive of LGBT plus experiences. And what we find is that the voices of certain people are not heard as strongly as they should be in history. Um, and as we sort of move forward and we diversify where we are, in some ways that kind of impacts on the more traditional voice. And if we consider the traditional voice to be the, white, straight male, perhaps, then there's a little bit of pressure there. And what we're finding in recent years is that some men are struggling a little more. Some of these roles that they've been sort of brought up to believe in, this is the way to be a real man, they don't fit quite as well as they used to. And people are having to kind of reconcile things around that kind of area. Um, Studies have shown that, the largest group that are sort of suffering in terms of their well-being, committing suicide is, a good proportion of that are young white straight men who you would think would be sailing through with no problems, but life is very different. So people are having to reconcile who they are, and that's tricky in some ways. 2020 has been such a rough year for everybody. People are, coming up against all sorts of challenges in terms of their actual life, their mental health, all of these things. So we really need to kind of be kind to each other, to consider each other, and help each other along. Um, Also adding to that, if you consider men who were part of the LGBT plus community, so trans men, gay men, eh, we're kind of indicating that maybe some of those traditional masculine ways of being don't work quite as well for us as they do for other people. So again, it's about opening a space for conversations. We're at a point where people know that they should be more accepting of LGBT plus lives, and for many people they want to be, but sometimes there's a certain fear attached. Oh, I don't quite understand that, I don't quite know how that works. Is that a question I should ask somebody? Is that an inappropriate question? And we're at a real crux now. So I just think it's really important on this day to be able to talk to each other about all the different ways that someone can be a man in our society, and how we can all help and support each other in terms of that and in terms of going forward. So just to acknowledge that, yes, International Men's Day is very important, and just to add perhaps a slightly different perspective to some of the conversations, but hopefully an open and welcoming one, asking people to come talk to us at Pride in Plymouth, be part of Pride in Plymouth if they feel it's something that works for them, and to open the spaces to have those conversations. So a very happy International Men's Day to you, and take care.